I'd say within a time span of a few months or so, people are going to be bedazzled by objects that cannot be plotted right now. Now, the only reason they know that certain objects are out there is because they accidentally start to track certain objects. I believe the Air Force, that started with the Air Force. It was a mistake. When you're tracking aircraft, right? Sometimes you're due to the, I hate to say this because I know people are going to say, no, it's not, but due to the curvature in all the electronics, when you're processing data imagery, right? You have to know that curvature. Well, sometimes it can shoot above, up and out of the atmosphere. And when this happened, there were some reflections that came back that weren't supposed to be there. These reflections, as they continued in their patrols at the exact same position, as a couple of days later, something like that, those same reflections start coming back again. And when they were actually, overlaid with the movement of the Earth and times and this, that, and the other, they made an arc, which means it was reflecting off something in space that was pretty close. That wasn't, nothing is supposed to be that close. It was a body for sure, but to have that reflective property with the, within the atmosphere, why is it not visible? It's being obscured. There's still things out there that will hide objects. It will hide your perspective. It's kind of like if you look at something 10 feet away, and then you stick your finger in front of your face, right? The closer you get your finger to your face, the less you're able to see out there. Same thing. So we have objects that are rotating, that are in orbit close, but they cover up parts of space, right? That's going to be another celestial thing that people will see. They're going to start to notice big chunks of the stars are gone. I'm sure people are going to have fun on that on the internet, but they won't understand why that's happening. And then, of course, the inevitable takes place. Even right now, we have in opposite the Earth, there's something in rotation at the same speed the Earth rotates around the sun. So we have other objects that are doing the same thing. We cannot see them because they're always behind the sun. Now, all this is going to be highly visible in a very short time, right? So there's no need for anybody to go and start looking deep. They'll find things, yes. But to this point, they'll start speculating. And of course, it gets lost in the noise of the internet. But a time is coming where all of it's going to be visible. All of it will drop below that ecliptic of the sun, and everybody's going to see it. I will have to say this. Putin is trying, he's building something in Russia right now for his people. China's doing it too. North Korea is going to retrofit certain things to keep certain families in certain places, right? Turkey, same thing is happening in Turkey. India is starting to, they just broke ground on a few projects to do that same thing. We're not doing anything because of our, I don't know, it's almost like we're so egotistical, so prideful. They don't care about the people too much. And they have expected casualties in the millions. But I'll tell you this, I hope that everybody has a meeting place for their families, for their friends, whoever, just one place where they can meet together in case they lose communications at any time in the very near future. Because if communications actually go out, right, your cell phones don't work, cable systems will not work, fiber optics are not transmitting. You want to have a place, a known place, everybody can meet up at, and then you make plans from there. That way you're in contact with your family and everybody else. That's a responsible thing to do. It's kind of like having insurance. The best course for anybody is to set up a physical plan where people can meet together. Now, will anybody are they going to go out there and just start scrambling all signals? Of course not, right? What we're talking about is not nefarious activity within this country, but external activity against those who govern this country. And we're going to be casualties of that. I suspect, like this winter, oh boy, this winter, my goodness, nobody's talking about the winter. This is that winter, the gray winter. I'm going to call it the gray winter. That's exactly what this is. The rain potential in the heavens is high. And now they just confirmed it this year that the atmosphere is able to hold twice as much moisture as it has before. So you're looking at some major events that will happen during the wintertime, but we have something else happening. We are soon to go through a meteor storm. This meteor storm is going to start putting, I'll say, rock size, small rocks, that you can hold in the palm of your hand, rock sized fragments will hit in sporadically in the atmosphere. In fact, it'll become so constant and so normal that people will look up in the heavens and see, sparks and streaks and everything else going to become quite normal. But they're going to get bigger. They will mix with the moisture. It's going to add dust in the upper atmosphere. You know what happens when dust is introduced into the upper atmosphere? You have the formation of hail like never before. In the wintertime, the dust will be it'll be so dense that the snow will be partly sandish, dirtyish, right, which makes it heavy. And that means you could have a snowstorm that's worse than a hailstorm, where the snowflakes coming down are going to be quite heavy. They will coalesce into balls and go right through people's roofs. Because we have these bands of energy coming in, volcanism is about to really announce itself. Ash is going to be in our upper atmosphere. With the ash and the snow, you're looking at a collection of differences. The conditions on this earth are going to change, and we're going to have to deal with that. We're going to have to deal with ash. We're going to have to deal with celestial iron, nickel, and other things stuck up in the atmosphere. And they know it. They already know it. Space programs are taking a turn in what they have to do because they understand this is coming. They are reading density changes now, right? That's what's happened to the atmosphere, by the way, is that because of these particles, all these particles coming in, the atmosphere has become very dense, which hence the term atmospheric compression, which means it's as it becomes dense, it becomes heavy. And so you have storms and the cycle of evaporation coalescing back in rain and so forth and so on. That cycle is disrupted, right? It also causes the atmosphere to become more of an insulator. That's going to raise the temperatures here on Earth. We're going through this process. And it's unfortunate. You have speculation on one side, and the Lord blessed me to be in a position to have certain facts other people can't get a hold of yet. But things are exponentially escalating.